All right, today's checkpoint is the distributive property and solving. Okay, now when we are distributing, okay, we are looking at whatever is in front of our parentheses here, okay? I always pretend that it's this person's birthday, so exciting. They are bringing treats to the class. And when you bring treats to the class, you have to bring treats to each person in your class, okay? You cannot leave anyone out. So it's -2's birthday. Maybe they're in a little bit of a mood here, but you do have to include whatever's in front. So we will be taking -2 and multiplying. This whole bringing treats thing is multiplying each person in the class. We have an X and a 4 in the class. So let's go ahead and do that. We are going to get -2 times X and then -2 times 4. So -2 times X is simply -2X, and -2 times 4 is -8. Okay, this is distributing. So you always have to make sure that you are distributing the correct thing. So here you will be distributing a 2X. In problem 3 next to it, you will be distributing a 2Y. Okay, now sometimes you are going to be doing more than distributing. Sometimes you are going to be distributing more than one thing, okay? So there's a couple different ways. Okay, the first way I'm gonna do in green, some people call it rainbows and smileys, because you distribute the X to both, and then you distribute the -4 to both as well, to make sure that everything's covered for. Okay, that's the first way. We call that rainbows and smileys. Okay, because it kind of looks like rainbows and smiley faces. Another way is by using FOIL. This stands for first, outside, inside, last. So here are the firsts. So you do X times X. Then the outsides. So that's the X and the 5. X times 5. And then the insides, which would be 4 and X. I'm sorry, -4 and X. So -4 times X. And then finally the lasts. Okay, -4 and 5. And then you're adding all those up. Okay, that's FOIL. And then the way I have taught you guys this year has been putting them outside of a box. That is an awful box, sorry. And multiplying. So we have X minus 4 on one side, X plus 5 on the other, and we are going to multiply, just like we would with rainbows and smileys or FOIL. So here, X times X is X squared. Okay, then we have, I'll do X times -4 next, if I could stop erasing part of that X. Okay, then -4 and X is going to become -4X. Then X times 5 is going to become 5X. And then finally, -4 times 5. You guys always want to start adding this for some reason, okay? I don't know why you multiply all the others and then you start adding, okay? You cannot add. There is no adding here. You multiply. We are multiplying these. So, -4 times 5 is -20, okay? And then we take our pieces out of the box. We add them all together now. So X squared plus 5X minus 4X minus 20. These are like terms, so we can combine them. So our final answer is X squared. 5X minus 4X is just 1X minus 20. Okay, so I'm gonna put up here, if my iPad will stop freezing, that our third way is to use the box, and my iPad won't unfreeze, so we'll just call it a day. There it is. Okay, 3, I'm gonna do it in blue there. 3 is the box method. Okay, these are your options for that kind of problem, and the rest you can do. If you want extra, sometimes there will be distribution embedded in a problem. I like to start with the distribution. So here I'm distributing a -3. It's -3's birthday. Always pay attention to the sign in front of it. It's included. So this is going to be 19a. -3 times a gets us -3a. Now be careful, we have a negative and a negative here. A negative times a negative is a positive, so that's going to become plus 18, and that is equal to 66. We can combine these like terms. 19 minus 3 is 16a, plus 18 equals 66. Then we can draw our line and solve for a, try and get a by itself. So we have 16a is equal to 40. Oh shoot, I need my calculator on me to divide. Okay. And I'm sorry, that was an a attached. And then you would divide by 16, divide by 16. Oh man, that's a 16, okay?